Hey, Rye.
Yeah.
You know we still didn't do that video on not lecturing in the classroom?
We did that, didn't we?
No.
Look, I got nothing. Let's dude, it's the end of the year. Let's just stand up there and say it. Let's just we've been productive. Let's just do an easy one.
You mean lecture? You mean creative video with you lecturing, telling teachers to not lecture in the classroom?
Well, I wouldn't call it a lecture. I would call it a verbal a lecture.
You don't think that's a little bit hypocritical of you?
Wait, hold on. You're saying that we should employ the same pedagogical, whatever it is you say, same pedagogical theories to PD as we do in the classroom? That we should treat people who are learning as people who are learning regardless of their age? Is that what you're saying to me?
That's exactly what I'm saying to you.
Roll it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about the few examples.
Thank you.
Where are you going with my lecture? What are you guys doing?
Well, not only do they get the information from your lecture, but they're identifying the relationships between the ideas.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Come on.
When Aristotle established his three methods of rhetoric... Cancel that. Today's lecture has now been made available for you on Schoology. Anybody who would like to may access the lecture at their own pace in their own time to determine the important information. Enjoy your class. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a lecture on Newton, the three laws of motion, and we're going to talk a lot about gravity. Question? Yes, young man in the back.
What pedagogical theory or research says that it's good for you to lecture at us? Maybe we should ask you the questions, inquire from you. Don't you think that's better?
Yep. That would be better. Let's do it again. All right, you guys know how this works. We've done it before. This is the true Socratic method. There is something in here that you need to get out, and the way you get it out is with good questions. Remember, I don't have to answer completely, but I do have to answer honestly. We've got 15 minutes, so start thinking of questions.
Who's Newton?
A guy.
What did he do?
Experiments.
Experiments. What did he experiment on?
That's a great question.
Oh.
Sir Isaac Newton experimented on gravity.
Gravity. Did he ever publish any of his experiments?
He did publish his experiments and the results of his experiments.
All right. So I know what you're thinking. You have to lecture. You got to get that information into their little brains so that they can do well on the test, in your class, in life. But the bottom line is there's better ways to lecture than what you're doing. Don't tell them to take notes. Do something different. I like to have the kids determine the vocabulary. I stand up and I talk for 10 minutes without giving them anything, and I tell them they're listening for key words. And then they work in small groups to figure out what was the key vocabulary from that 10-minute speech. I also have the kids summarize. My students are familiar with summary. They understand to look for the main idea and supporting details. And so if I talk for 10 minutes and I tell them to get in a group and summarize, they know what they're supposed to listen for. And these strategies are great, but the number one thing that you can do if you really have to lecture is make a video. Record yourself on a computer, on your camera, on a cellular device, whatever it is. That is going to have the most impact in your classroom if you're trying or have to lecture. Students can revisit the information. They can push pause, go back, and rethink about what it is that you just said. Furthermore, they can work at their own pace. And most importantly, it's just best practice. You get to reflect on what it is that you're actually giving the students.
So remember, nobody likes a lecture.
It just doesn't work.